Good morning, guys. It is 11:23 a.m. on Thursday, the I think 107th day that I'm doing this. Here is your daily dose of hope. And I'm committed to being authentic on here. And I did finally go to bed. I was already in bed, but I finally went to sleep at like 11 last night. But there was a part of me that just didn't want to. It just didn't want to, and it was fighting me. But the facts are, I did get the meditation turned on by 11. And right now, right now with everything going on, that's too late. So this is just a reminder to me as well, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world, but we're going to adjust, So this morning I woke up, I think at like 5:30. I did one meditation. There's a lot going on. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I was feeling the heaviness of grief and emotions, and I didn't want to. But the facts are that I was like, okay, we're going downstairs at this time. What can we do in the meantime to do what we can, meaning what I can, to get myself in the best possible state? Like, I'd be fine no matter what, but I don't want to be fine. I want to feel great, And I ended up doing, I think I ended up doing my push-ups and crunches and jumping jacks. Yeah, because then she came up. And I was doing some energy work, just some quick stuff, and, came downstairs, did the thing, with her, drank my water, had a meeting, a Zoom, which was awesome. And I still felt this, frustration, all these things. So I'm really proud of myself is my point, because I was like, okay, you're not feeling great, meaning these things are trying to tear you down. What can you do for yourself right now where you're at? And I was like, I could take a shower. And I'll be honest, part of me was like, I don't want to. I said, that's not true though. That's the programming that you don't deserve to take a shower, So I took a shower. I released some tears in the shower, I think. But afterwards, I realized, they say that anger is a secondary emotion. And that first you feel the anger and then you'll feel the tears. All I can do is speak from my own experience. And I think it depends on what the tears are from, too, obviously, and what the anger is from. But in my experience, it has been the opposite. It has been, I feel beat down, I feel small, I feel, like I'm getting kind of torn down. And I realize, wait a damn minute. I don't deserve this. And I get angry, right? And then what I started doing is using the anger to fuel me. So that being said, I not only did my push-ups, crunches, jumping jacks, I've done my sun salutation, and actually I just did the ring fit again, which I haven't done in a long time because I haven't had the energy to do it. And I was like, this is the key, Use it to fuel you. And I don't mean, and I had to I always say check myself before I wreck myself and be like, okay, so don't do it for 2 hours when you haven't done it in multiple days, but do one, and that's what I just did. So I just want to say that everybody's different, right? But if you've had a lot of trauma, if you've been treated really poorly and are still getting treated, not okay, I just want you to consider that maybe that anger is trying to tell you something. Maybe that anger is saying you deserve and need to put up a boundary, right? Maybe you don't have an anger issue. It all depends on how you express it, obviously, but I've never had that problem. I just haven't even been allowed to feel anger, and that makes you not human, So just remind yourself that you can feel your emotions, but don't let them dictate your actions. So even when the tears came at first, I was like, and then I thought, actually, right now, you're by yourself. This is the time to do it, blah, 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 blah. And so, and the facts are I'm talking now, right? And I didn't, I did kind of keep it structured, if that makes sense. Like I was like, okay, give me a minute type of thing. And I think for me, that's really important right now. Like right now, in 8 or 9 days, it's going to be a different story. But right now, it's important for me to see that I can have a moment of emotion, and then go on with my day. And actually, it fuels me. So another thing I wanted to say that came to me was, instead of thinking of it like I had an emotional outburst, like, did you actually have an emotional outburst, or did you experience an emotion in an appropriate way, for a second, right? But if we were never allowed to do that, we think everything is, inappropriate, even when we're by ourselves. And that is a recipe for disaster. I'll tell you that right now. So the quote for today, it says, we believe what we tell ourselves, which is true. And so it says, here's some things to tell yourself. Everything will work out. Things will get better. You are important. You are worthy of great things. You are lovable. The time is now. This too shall pass. You can be who you really are. The best is yet to come. You are strong and you can do this. And I understand kind of the programming, like resistance to like, that's just fluff, or that's just whatever. But guys, it's not actually true. Because why are we not taking care of ourselves in the first place? Because we're telling ourselves we don't deserve to. So we do believe what we tell ourselves. So our job is to, I think of it like, upgrade what we tell ourselves, truly. And so I'm starting the live body doubling sessions on Monday. And, this would be a perfect example. Let's say that you want to get some exercise done, but for whatever reason, when you have even the time, you have the time, but you just can't focus. This provides that container so you can do it, right? You don't even have to have your camera on. I don't care. I'm just trying to show people, because I've experienced it from doing it myself, right? When there is a container, a safe container, and so then you feel your safety is met, your safety need is met, your container is met, you're not having to keep time, right? You're not going to get distracted because okay, for this container, this is what I'm going to do. You'll see that your brain will tug, just like in meditation, your brain will tug and tug. You're like, nope, we're doing this for 15 minutes. Nope, we're doing this for 15 minutes. And even if you don't do anything, I also want to say this. Let's say the first 5 times you come, you don't actually do anything, but you at least show up. I think of it like, fish in a bag acclimating to like an aquarium. You're acclimating to this new thing, truly. And so then what happens is that puppy surrenders, and it's like, I guess we're doing this for 15 minutes, right? So then we take whatever that action is, right, for 15 minutes, then we celebrate it. So we want the puppy to go outside. This was telling someone, but it makes sense, right? You want the puppy to pee outside, right? So the puppy finally pees outside, and all you're like is, well, you didn't do it yesterday. The puppy's gonna be like, well, why am I even bothering? So that's how the brain and the nervous system work too. It's not advisable to try to trick it, like to be like, well, we'll do this for 5 minutes, but really we're doing it for 35. You've got to build that trust in yourself that what you say you're going to do, not only what you say you're going to do, that you follow through. Okay, that's more like the masculine, like driving. That's important too. But we need to start with the safety of the measure for success is that you stay on the thing for 15 minutes. That's it. That's all you have to do is show up, And you're, like I said, the ego, like all that's going to say, this is stupid, like this is pointless, like that's not going to make a difference. But remember, our wise mind, we know if we take action consistently, towards something in a safe environment, we're going to get there. Like, that's just how it works. And that's why I want to do like the linked arms concept. It's never to, patronize or, like make light of it, but this is how we learn. Like I said, I mean, that was a big aha for me when I realized a lot of things I might have been exposed to, but I didn't get the luxury of getting to learn it because I wasn't safe. And when we don't feel safe, we don't take in any information. Our entire system is just like, we're not safe, so we're just surviving, right? But I create that safe container in a very bite-sized way where, like, it'll just be incredible. You'll see, because it's like, I really thought there was no way I could do this or even start this. And the facts are, I started it, right? And once you start it, I'm not saying you have to finish it that day, right? But you go from, I cannot do any part of this, so there's no point in trying. You go from that helpless, trapped, right? Like hopeless. You go from that to hope, because you experience the success in that moment, right? With support, So anyway, and this is also just a personal thing, but this was my beloved doggy. And, me and my daughter always talk about, like, anytime we see a heart or anytime just something makes us smile, we're like, oh, thank you to him, because his energy's still around. He was the best dog in the world. I was actually training him to be a therapy dog, I love animals so much because they're just so pure, right? They just love. And I think we could learn a lot from them. But that being said, we also have a wonderful gift that we're human, that if we are in a bad situation and there is something we can do about it, we deserve to do that. And I want to remind you of that too, because especially empathic people and compassionate people, we will stay in situations that aren't good for us because we can always see the other side. But you know what? We have a side too. We matter too. It's true. So the next time that you might be feeling frustrated or angry, I would actually ask yourself, like, what is this about? And if it's something like, well, this person's trampling a boundary, to be honest, that's a reason to, that's a healthy response to something like that. So anyway, I love you guys and have a great day. Hope this helps.